having me here today to testify on my amendments to the FY17 Legislative Branch Appropriations Bill. Both of these amendments pertain to the provision in the committee report that overturns a recent Library of Congress decision to discontinue its use, or at least pending decision to discontinue its use of the term alien in its subject headings. My amendments aim to allow the Library of Congress to move forward with its proposed changes to replace the term aliens in subject headings with non-citizens, and replace the term illegal alien with non-citizens and unauthorized immigration. Let me be clear. I believe that the term alien is not only offensive, but also dehumanizing. These folks may not be U.S. citizens, but they're not from outer space. They're human beings. It stigmatizes immigrants in this nation and diminishes the quality of discussion around immigration issues in the United States. This type of negative treatment of immigrants isn't new, unfortunately, in our nation. In the past, derogatory terms were used to characterize the Irish and Italian immigrants, for example, who came here in centuries past. These groups were denied jobs and treated as second-class individuals. When ugly, belittling names are used to describe groups of people, those terms can make discrimination seem okay. When we move away from those offensive words and treat people with respect, it's harder for discrimination to take root. The Library of Congress's proposed changes would help make the vocabulary our nation uses to describe today's immigrants more respectful. The folks serving in our military, starting small businesses, and contributing to our economy who happen to be new immigrants deserve better than the word alien. Unless we act, this legislation will obstruct much-needed progress to remove the term alien from our acceptable vocabulary for immigrants. I would also point out that this of course, is an intrusion by Congress in the work of the library, and I believe that they should be allowed to do their job. So, for example, the Library of Congress previously used the term Negroes in its subject headings. That's since been replaced with African Americans. Our federal code used to include the terms lunatic and mentally retarded. Those have since been changed as well. The nature of language over time, in fact, changes, and we should all acknowledge this. And just last month, President Obama signed into law a bill introduced by our colleague, Congresswoman Grace Meng, that removes the terms Oriental and Negro from federal code. When this appropriations bill was marked up in the committee, Ranking Member Debbie Wasserman Schultz introduced an amendment to remove the alien-related measure from the legislation. In fact, 4 Republicans on the committee voted with Democrats to strike the provision, but the effort fell 1 vote short. So there is bipartisan support to remove this language from the bill, and the issue deserves a vote in the full House. Madam Chairwoman, members of the committee, I want to close by highlighting the fact that never before in history has Congress so much as communicated with the Library of Congress about its subject headings, let alone introduced legislation on those headings. Each year, the Library of Congress makes thousands of changes to its subject headings. For example, in 2015 alone, 4,934 new subject headings were added. Is this the kind of history as a Congress we want to make? Do we want for the first time for Congress to interfere in the subject heading process of the Library of Congress? Thank you for the time, and of course, I'll be glad at the appropriate time to field questions. I yield.
Thank you very much. Mr. Cole, do you have any questions? No. Mr. McGovern.